Greetings, dear suckers! My name's Joe Bob, and I'm very peeved. And I'm still struggling with my arm. Earlier today, it was completely painless, but then I sneezed and it suddenly was in agonizing pain. That was weird, but it's all doing fine right now. Oh, what's this? Ruin is full of snow. No one lives here anymore. Okay. How did I miss that before? Yeah, probably a skill thing. Speaking of skills, I've got 2 points. What the fuck do I put them into? I could get Inland Empire up to 8. That'd be handy. Probably. If only I had a little more shivers, I could get it up to 8. The smart thing to do would be to use these carefully and wisely, or save them for specific purposes. But fuck it. It's my crown skill, signature skill, that's what the term was. It should be at least it should be at least near the highest. Though, although amusingly, the one that could potentially go the highest is Volition. Just barely. Although, wait. Does that make sense? Huh. There's a negative from dots, but I have a bonus from the signature skill, so considering they're the same, they're both psyche and all that. You'd think they'd be equal, but they're not? I don't understand that. Oh, wait, I see. Because the signature skill thing counts as a point in the learned skill thing. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Never mind. I thought it gave a bonus independent of the cap, but no. That's weird, isn't it? Oh well. Let's go talk to the Hardy Har boys then.
The Copper NATO is back. What do you want?
Guess what? I've connected you to the local drug trade.
Like hell you have. There is no local drug trade. This place is as clean as a rifle. Go back to Jamrock and ask the local junkies how clean your streets are in Precinct 41 Kilos.
We'll do that. In the meantime, did you know that there's an abandoned lorry at the intersection that was used to move raw ingredients for drugs from Terminal B to Jamrock? We know Ruby was the driver. We know that's your affiliation with her. Detective, you want to deliver the coup de grace?
Oh no. No. You do the honor. You've earned it. You were, after all, the one to actually get us in there after my feeble attempt. And after your showing with the racist fuckhead, go right on ahead.
Thank you. You're right, Titus. There is no local drug trade because it's all controlled by you. You're the drug trade.
That's a mighty interesting theory. I guess that's what you would need to do, theoretically. A big, strong, state-run monopoly would outcompete the runts on the street.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, man. Theoretically, that's what you would do. To get rid of the gangs, the dealers, even some of the junkies.
You would need good, trustworthy people to take their place, of course. Hardy men to run such a monopoly. For the good of the community, of course.
Oh, of course. This is disgusting. You're admitting to profiting off of poisoning your own people. Or at best, you're admitting to enriching your own community by poisoning other communities. Jamrock, for instance? You're a goddamn leech, Hardy. No, actually. You're worse than that. Leeches might take your blood, but they're generally pretty good about not spreading disease everywhere they go. Part of why they've had so much success as a medical tool. That ain't you, Hardy. You're a mosquito.
Boo fucking who. People will always be taking drugs. Might as well do it clean and organized.
Yeah, that's what everyone fucking says. It's been used as an excuse for everything under the sun since the dawn of civilization. Everyone wants to be the one with their hand on the rudder of all that is vile. And that's how they justify it to themselves. If it's gonna happen anyway, why not be the one to profit from it, right? Heh. From where I'm sitting, there's 1,000,001 reasons to not be that guy.
Yeah, that's what the labor movement is all about. Clean and organized. And the Hardy Boys are running it.
This is what the labor movement is all about, huh? Yeah, that I can believe. That I can very much fucking believe.
Theoretically, of course. We're just talking politics here. My answer to your drug accusation is, how dare you? Go fuck yourself.
Oh yes, we're just talking about drug dealing in Minecraft here. And what about this Ruby? Is she the 8th Hardy who runs this thing for you?
You sure do love long walks through Theory Town, don't you? Well, I'm thirsty now. Thirsty for beer. Got any less theoretical questions, Cobb?
Mayhap I do.
He doesn't let it show, but must be a little impressed. You've put a lot of things together, fast.
Damn straight. That's me. The human fucking can opener. That's the power of being an actual fucking cop, Titus.
He's practically saying yes. A yes to everything you said.
Yep. Pretty much. Let's see. Why is this highlight? Hang on. Is there anything new here?
Yeah? What?
Ah. Do you know what she's doing with Ulan frequencies?
The what now? I have no idea. Boys?
She said she's building a pale emitter.
A what? That better be something to do with emitting stuff into the pail and not emitting the pail.
What?
My thoughts exactly, Hardy.
We were talking about radio equipment. She said she's doing Ulan frequencies and a pale something. I don't know more.
This guy barely understands what he's talking about.
Yeah, I gathered.
There you have it. Hail something.
Titus puts an end to it. Very illuminating.
It feels like you'll get to know soon enough.
I'll take your word for it. Thanks for the review, Titus.
Anything else you want, Cobb?
Not particularly. Well, not that I'm gonna get here anyway. Okay. Well. Nearly another level up. Let's talk to Claude then. Well. Is it worth going all the way over there just to see if that asshole has anything more to say?
Mr. Dubois, I hear the meeting with Titus was a glowing success. That's such a relief. Titus can be a handful sometimes. Now, what can Everard Clare do for you today?
I just finished investigating the local drug trade.
Ah, yes. Your side investigation. Thank you. You've got some spirit clearing up phony drug accusations alongside this murder. I'll talk to the mayor and see if I can get you the key to the city, Harry. Now let's talk real business.
Actually, Rivershell doesn't have a mayor.
Good to know.
Not even a speck of anger in his voice. That's that then.
Huh. Okay then. I guess we're just gonna... Okay. Got another level up. I'm thinking rhetoric or empathy. Rhetoric's dangerously low, but having empathy at 6 would be nice. Alright, rhetoric was the one with which wrote nay impossible instead of nigh impossible. Okay, screw that then, we're going for empathy. Anyway. Still got these in our quest book even though they're impossible. Unless we're gonna go to the station at some point, I guess. Still got that one. Not sure how to get to the island. Haven't been able to talk about that tattoo to many people. Evening.
I see you haven't left our little Martinez yet. Still running around. Like some kind of cross-country law official.
Still have a case to solve. This place is kind of growing on me, you know? Like a mold.
Aye, but don't let it grow too much. This is not the place to settle down. Now, what's on your mind, officer?
Looking for someone else, actually.
Oh? Who?
Oh, no one apparently.
Well,
Okay.
how can I assist you then, officer?
See ya. Anyway. Hello. Too bad I don't get a chance to go on a date with her. That'd be fun.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
What? Where's the...
Until you come up with something at that intersection, I'm afraid I have little else to tell you. But I'll try. Ask.
I heard something about a complex operation earlier. This adds up.
I'm glad to hear, officer. I'm sure you'll find out just what that means soon enough.
She
Okay.
simply nods.
Where the... I'm supposed to report back to her. Where the...
Yes, my eyes
Ah.
on the harbour have sent word to that effect. What have you discovered?
I don't know why that wasn't... I don't know why that was grayed out if it was a... Like, if it was a thing like that, but okay. Wait. Where exactly are these eyes located? I didn't realize you had more than 2, or that you could pop them out.
It doesn't really matter. And I do apologize for the surveillance. Wild Pines can't afford to be blind at a time like this.
One of the tall buildings overlooking the roundabout, most likely. That would give them a read on the entire quarter.
I wonder if I could stumble across one of them.
In any case, it's a relief to know someone has looked into it. If I may ask, will there be an official investigation? I assume you discovered there is an operation.
She's trying to conceal her excitement, but the slight glimmer in her green eyes tells you otherwise.
I could tell just from her voice, but okay.
The lieutenant is about to interject. Cut him off. This decision should be yours.
Yeah, sure, why not? I'm the player character after all. Yes, I should decide.
Exactly. But what?
Hold on. You seem anxious to know. Why's that? I mean, I think I can probably guess, but sure.
I've kept my eye on the communers. Even tried to get to know one. It's a mystery I'm already invested in. Which one of them, if any, could organize such a complex operation?
You sent us on a wild goose chase. There's nothing to investigate. Yeah, that'll go over well, I'm sure. Do I share information, or do I not? Not sure what good telling her would do. Though perhaps we could pry more about that Ulan frequency stuff. Perhaps. Let's see where this goes. I can always load if it goes somewhere stupid.
Ah, good to hear. I wouldn't want to pry into a confidential police matter, but in the event you'd like to share more, I would like to know who it was.
Well, that might be a bit too much sharing.
Yes, all ears. That's how she operates.
Naturally. It's how I operate too. All ears and eyes.
Be very careful what information you're gonna share with her.
I found research about something called Ulan frequencies related to the operation.
High-intensity microwave frequencies. They're used for navigational purposes, to compress the inter-eastlery space. They may use it to communicate with incoming freighters.
Perhaps.
As the shipments approach Revachol, somehow you suspect something more sinister.
Yeah, that's not exactly the most helpful thing in the world, logic, but yeah. I came upon a few hidden maps illustrating the range of the smuggling network.
First-rate find. That should tell you all you need to know about their network, I would imagine.
Yes, they're spread all over Jamrock, and beyond. I couldn't even identify the exact endpoints.
So this goes beyond Jamrock. At least you now understand the gravity of the situation, and those maps should prove very valuable indeed.
It's possible there's even a connection to La Puta Madre.
What is La Puta Madre?
You don't know? That's interesting. A seriously bad guy. Or better not to frighten you, ma'am. Sure.
Frighten me.
She smiles.
I'm not frightened easily, but I understand some things are best for the police to keep to themselves.
What else? I saw a really advanced radio system with a lot of stations saved.
That speaks of the vastness and sophistication of the operation. Were you able to examine the radio?
It was the nerve center for the operation. She could contact a whole fleet of lorries. And perhaps beyond.
Taking it out of commission will deal a blow to the smuggling network. Excellent work.
It seems the architect of the operation has gone missing. An abandoned lorry is near the statue.
A runaway. Good work. This is a tangible lead towards solving the whole mystery.
She's a fan of vintage movie stars. The inside of the cab was plastered with posters. I don't have any choice but to bring that up, apparently. Okay.
We contain multitudes, do we not? It might not be pertinent to her profession, but who knows? It may help you find her yet.
She means you know her closer now. In some way, you know her soul a bit.
I guess. It's a she, by the way. Guess you kind of already assumed that, or maybe you were just using a default pronoun. I don't know.
Clever. Few suspect a woman in this sort of skullduggery. Good move on their part.
Maybe. I'm certainly one of those few. Remember, all women are devil women. I've told you what I've found. Now it's your turn.
I appreciate you placing your trust in me. Thank you again for looking into this matter. You have my gratitude, and the gratitude of Wild Pine's group.
Same thing, more or less.
Now, per our original agreement, it's time for me to share company secrets with you.
There's a change in her demeanor. A caution comes over her. Attention. Oh yeah, company secrets. The next best thing to state secrets. And all the cool kids are discussing state secrets.
I wouldn't normally break protocol like this, but the situation demands it. If you don't solve this murder, I'm afraid we may have a bloodbath on our hands.
More of one, you mean?
The words bloodbath sound cold in her mouth. They taste of iron and strawberries.
So what's this about a bloodbath?
Yes. I'm afraid this strike may descend into a small-scale civil war, with possible consequences for all of Rivershoal West.
Ah, right. That. A little behind the curve there, Rejoice. You're... descend nothing.
Since you are sharing, ma'am, this is also the RCM's worst-case scenario.
Then we're on the same page, as grim as it may be.
I've already heard about a connection between the lynching and strike, sort of, but I need your testimony.
I have an indirect role to play, I'm sad to say. My employer experienced a momentary lapse of faith in me. In that moment, they elected to deploy a private military contractor as an insurance measure. They called it my security detail.
A momentary lapse of faith?
They were dispatched after I relayed the union's initial offer.
The initial offer of get fucked?
Every worker...
A member of the board. I tried to convince my employer it was simply a piece of rhetoric, or a joke. They did not appreciate the humor.
Do you need a security detail?
Absolutely not. These mercenaries are muscle, pure and simple. They are meant to intimidate the Union into surrendering.
I mean, I feel like in this place, of all places, a little muscle around you might not go amiss. I mean, there was just a lynching. But I take your point.
Who are they, exactly?
Crenell, an Oranese military company. As far as I know, 3 arrived in Martinez. They report to me sporadically, but they do not answer to me. To be frank, our relationship is deteriorating.
They never call, they never go out on date nights, they never do anything for their anniversary. It's a mess.
They wear ceramic armor, have semi-automatic weapons, and years of combat experience. They also have trauma and stressor disorder, and no idea how to conduct themselves in an urban civilian environment.
Hey, I wear ceramic armor. I don't know that I have that specific disorder, though. And I've got plenty of ideas on how to conduct myself in an urban civilian environment. Maybe not all good ones, but...
So, what happened?
The story is, one of them, the Colonel, I don't know his real name, sexually assaulted a local woman while he was drunk and separated from his unit. This allowed some of the more militant Union members to subdue him.
Yes, yes. Heard all that before.
He was taken out behind the whirling in rags and lynched last Sunday night.
Yeah. What then?
Nothing. Mr. Clare refuses to let me into the harbor. I have not been able to discuss this matter with anyone there. The remaining 2 Crenell contractors carry out their orders, for now.
For now?
It's a smokescreen. In secret, they are conducting an independent military tribunal into the lynching. Once this investigation is concluded, executions will follow.
Just what I fucking need. More people thinking they're fucking cops. More people stepping on my fucking toes. More people taking the law into their own goddamn hands. Builder fucking preserve me. This is just what I need.
What is the nature of this so-called investigation?
Stupid. That's what the nature is. Incompetent, most likely.
Whether to execute one, some, or all of the Union militants.
Ah.
It'll be all of them. The decision is already made.
Yeah, I can believe that.
Investigation upon investigation here in Martinez, racing towards some dark deadline.
Yeah, you fucking said it, conceptualization. You've made a mess here. Maybe the investigations can team up. You know, share resources and intelligence. Too many investigations in Martinez. More than one is too many. Boy oh boy, is that not good. I have to say, this is not disco. Not disco in the fucking slightest. This is a goddamn... This is more like mosh pit at its worst.
It is very far from disco. My only hope is that you provide a single, concrete suspect before the mercenaries indiscriminately pick theirs. Simply put...
She leans against the wooden planks.
If you don't pin this on someone good, and do it fast, they will identify and execute everyone present at the lynching. This in turn will force the Union to respond.
Well, that's fucking great, because I'm fairly certain at this point that no one who was present at the lynching actually did it. So that's fun.
They would have to project strength and power.
Yeah, they can't allow a fucking bloodbath to go unresponded to.
The Debarder have over 2,000 men. It will be 1,000 to 1.
Have you ever seen a Hornet invade a beehive, Lieutenant? It's not pretty.
The Serai's giant hornet, the world's second largest insect, can kill 40 honeybees a minute, while a group of 30 can decimate an entire hive of 20,000 bees in less than 4 hours.
Potentially, yeah. Have you ever seen a hive of bees swarm a giant hornet and cook it to death? That's not a pretty sight either. Wait. Oh yeah, I got that plus 70 from earlier. I was wondering why I suddenly had... I guess I'll put this into rhetoric now then.
These men work in tandem using semi and fully automatic firearms. Their armor is virtually impenetrable to muzzle-loaded weapons, even yours. Most Union workers don't have guns at all.
True, but there's more than one way to skin a cat. Point is, it's gonna be a bloodbath either way.
As I said, a bloodbath.
See, Kim? This is that great bloodletting I've been telling you about.
It appears you found it, yes. And I'm not happy for you.
Damn. I think the confrontation is inevitable. Yeah. You don't set shit up like this and then have me actually be able to avert the confrontation at any point except the last moment, if that. And it's not like I'm swimming in suspects. All I've really got is Ruby, and that's a lot. And that's a gamble of long odds. At best.
It doesn't have to be like this, Lieutenant W. Frater Dubois.
I'm all ears. Hey, actually, could you help me get to that island? Because that's one of the places that I'm trying to investigate, and you've got a boat. That'd be handy.
One single concrete suspect delivered into civil court, and I may be able to defuse this situation.
You skipped a line, but okay. Good luck with that. What can you tell me about Krenel?
Not much. Their public resume is relatively good, as far as private military contractors go. I believe they were once called Downwell.
Down a deep, black well.
I don't want to get involved in that. I went cold turkey from deep black wells ages ago.
They boast a long list of clients. Saint-Baptiste, Welchman Lorenz, Eintracht. A warning sign, however. The operations concerned all take place in third or fourth world countries. Guarding facilities, escort missions and such.
Meaning they're used to operating in war zones.
Yes. All the good conflict corridors, Supramundi, Yesut, the Seminese Islands, countries that don't have a good record reporting atrocious military conduct on their soil.
Okay, anything else you got on them?
Sadly, no. Before this happened, I had little interest in them. Now that I do, I don't have the resources.
Typical. That's always how it goes.
If you still have access to the ICP's database, you could run a better background check than I ever could. It may take some time, though.
Of course it will.
Do you know a lot about the inner workings of the RCM and the ICP, ma'am?
In my line of work, it pays to do your research. I was prepared to deal with the RCM. I did not think I'd be dealing with a group like Krenel.
Could you contact the company? Tell them to call them off? Would they even listen? Would they even listen if they did?
I have. And they will. However, these orders take time to reach what is basically a rogue unit out in the field here. Until they do, it's all on us.
She's being truthful. She is pressing them as hard as she can.
I'd like her to press me as hard as she can. You said the deceased assaulted a woman.
Or he didn't. This is information passed on to me from some teenagers loitering around the canal. I cannot testify by it.
Who did the passing on, then?
The remaining contractors. Their tribunal. It's what they believe.
What did these teenagers by the canal say?
That the man was killed because he assaulted a local woman. I've asked around a bit. This seems to be the accepted story around Martinez.
Old news.
This does not come as news to us, but still. To your knowledge, where did this assault take place, if you know?
Last Sunday night, at the Whirling in Rags, the hostel by the gates. Supposedly, the colonel was drunk. Maybe on narcotics, too.
Drunk on something, certainly. Drunk on love, perhaps, even.
Either way, he's alleged to have sexually assaulted a woman. Sometime later, a group of dock workers got their hands on him.
I know the woman you're talking about. We have it under control.
Good. Then you've made progress. It's imperative that you move fast. The tribunal will not be patient.
Hang on.
Or he didn't. This is that the man
This does not come as...
last Sunday night. Either way, he's alleged to have sexually assaulted.
And who was this woman?
That's a good question, officer. I don't have the slightest idea. As I said, it's a rumor. About a rumor. In any case, it's what the colonel's remaining colleagues believe.
This colonel, the one who was hanged, did you know him?
If you mean did I see him alive? Yes. But I did not know him.
I'm not using that in the biblical sense, by the way.
You don't know how you know. It's not written on her face, nor in her voice, but she had sympathy for this man.
Seems to be going around with the local women folk. You liked him.
Liked is a bit strong. He was the most charismatic among them. He handled all the talking. His departure left a major gap in the group's communication skills.
Yeah, I can see cause for having sympathy for these bozos. And now that he's gone, they've all gone off the reservation, so to speak. His name was...
Lely. His service name. A nom de guerre, most likely. He wouldn't divulge his full name. Only one of them did. A bad sign if there ever was one.
Tell me about the others first.
One is a man. Corty, they call him. A nickname as well. The other a woman. Phyllis DePaul. Corty is the gunner, I believe. DePaul is a radio operator.
What would you say was his eye color, the deceased's?
She closes her eyes, trying to picture the man's face, then shakes her head.
I can't remember.
There's a pang of regret to her voice.
The lieutenant was testing her, asking a small detail first to see if she knew him better than she let on. She passed.
Nice.
That's all right, man. Anything else? Nationality? What would you say was his age?
He was 40. Or 50. It's hard to say which. He had a combat injury on his lower jaw. It made it difficult to estimate his age, or gauge his facial expressions.
Indeed, this matches the dental reconstruction we saw on the body. What else? Nationality? Accent?
He was, Occidental, I think. Light brown hair, a mixed accent, Oranese, or Messinian, maybe. His injury gave him an accent all his own.
Sounds like a man defined by that injury. Poor bastard.
In a way, it was humanizing. He had to learn to speak through it. Through the injury. That's all I know, I guess. I only met him once.
Guess there's a lot about these bozos to tug at the heartstrings if you get to know them. It was ever thus. Where are the remaining 2 mercs now? Doubt you can give me specifics, but anything will help.
They've gone to ground, as it were. I don't recommend seeking them out. For one, they're likely to be armed to the teeth.
She raises a cautionary finger.
They don't have the same respect for the Revachol citizens'
middle one.
militia as I do. To put it bluntly, they think you're vigilantes. Ghetto savages. It will not be a fruitful meeting.
That's ironic.
Vigilantes. You're a professional officer of the only legitimate authority in Revachol.
Vigilantes? The RCM gets its authority from the Coalition. Where does theirs come from? Some automatic weapons?
Somehow, I doubt that lecturing them on the legitimate use of force will persuade them to stand down.
We still need to know where they are.
You're likely to run into them eventually. When that happens, I'll be in a better position to mediate if I don't appear involved.
Somewhere to find someone you haven't met. What does that mean? Oh, whatever. Where are these mercenaries?
One must be at the harbor gates, causing trouble, directing strike breakers, perhaps. You can hear the sounds of the ruckus coming from there all the time.
Oh yeah, those bozos. I think I was gonna talk to someone there at some point, but I didn't. Yeah, whatever.
The other has a vantage point in a building south of the roundabout. They were keeping tabs on you while you were canvassing the lorry drivers.
Probably the radio operator. I'm thinking the company put one leading strikebreakers at the gates. What do you think?
That may be so. I still hope you heed my advice.
She is poised and unperturbed.
There's no need to kick the hornet's nest.
For all your talk of averting this catastrophe, the situation at the gate is a powder keg. Does this not bother you?
Catastrophe? Okay.
Of course it bothers me, Lieutenant. But my hands are tied. How would my employer react if it appeared I were intervening on behalf of the Union?
frankly, it doesn't seem to me like your employer has your best interests at heart here. And perhaps they deserve you going off the reservation a tad. I mean, assuming there is well, never mind.
Your concern may be appearances. Ours is keeping the peace.
Quite so, Kim. One is probably in a building overlooking the roundabout.
That would afford a good vantage point. In any case, it's practically inaccessible.
Practically.
Where is your radio for contacting them, if I may ask? Do you have an earpiece?
Heavens no. I'm not an undercover agent. There's a shortwave at the ship's wheel.
She nods towards the sloop's cabin. Alright.
I hope I can answer it better.
How much time do we have?
Until the executions start? Truthfully, I don't know. It depends on their progress identifying the members of the lynch mob, and their impatience.
So in other words, I probably have as much time as I want, so long as I don't progress the story any further. Probably just past the Ruby shenanigans, then.
They don't report their progress to you?
Not on this matter. I'm afraid they consider this a personal initiative.
There is a brief silence. Seagulls squawk over the bay.
5 days, not more. Maybe sooner.
Okay. News to me, Inland Empire? Okay, not quite what I was expecting.
It's a matter of days, not weeks.
5 days. Does that mean on the 5th day, or at the end of the 5th day, or at the start of the 6th day? That bit vague. But okay, that's enough for now.
I am sorry to have been the bearer of bad news. If there is anything else I can help you with, please ask.
Now, can you tell me about these tattoos?
Of course. Excuse my hesitation before.
She reaches over the guard wire and takes the photo, holds it in her hand. Guard wire? There's no guard wire between us.
For about half a minute, in silence. She wears fingerless gloves. Her fingernails are cut short and fractured, like those of a working woman.
It was taken with a trigette not long ago. This is the man's upper body. There were no more markings on his hands or legs.
Stay quiet. Observe the woman's expression.
Her mouth is relaxed. The accordion lines near her mouth vanish. The pearls of her eyes move slowly on the photo's surface. She has no excess of emotions for this cadaver. Has she seen dead bodies before? It's likely.
Interesting. What do you think?
Sorry. I was trying to see if I can read the web of interdependencies between these points. The stars.
She points to one on the photo paper.
I can't. But that's how you read this story. The points themselves don't have letters, numbers, anything. Their size, location on the body, and distance from each other tells you what they represent.
Like stars in the sky? Well, no, not really. What people ascribe to the stars in the sky.
Port cities. On the oceans. This is an Oronese map of the waterways, a sailor's tattoo worn by wayfarers of the DeLorean century. As early as 300 years ago, the sailors would mark their bodies to map their travels.
Huh. Seems rather more inconvenient than a regular map, but I guess sure. As a backup, maybe? What is the use of this map?
The sailor's soul would use it to fly back home if they should die abroad. This is a sort of contraption to be reeled back in by. The silver cord, they would call it.
Oh. And here I was thinking it was something practical.
Where is he now?
This one is going nowhere but the morgue? I've spoken to him. For now, the soul is fastened inside his corpse. Sure, let's go with that.
That is precisely what the sailors feared when they drew these maps. A fear of drowning within one's own corpse.
She remains unfazed. Drowning within one's own corpse. What travels did the dead man make?
Quite a few. Vredefort, the Oranese capital, traditionally stands on the right shoulder. He started somewhere near here, I think.
She points to it on the photo.
What next?
Then he made his way to the Pretto Grande, through what I think must be the Stutz Canal, an artificial channel through the Occident. From the Pretto, he sailed to the Insulindic Ocean, first the Semines Islands, then this.
She points to his heart. What is that?
Revachol. Those are the two constants. Vredefort on the shoulder, and Revachol in the heart. They started the tradition of these maps right after the discovery of Insulinde, at the dawn of the Inter-Easlary Age.
The old world passing by, and the new world already here.
Huh.
You said you can't read it.
I can't. This man was no sailor, and these are no ports. I can understand geographic fragments, but not their meaning.
Somewhere in an office lit by a single green desk lamp, Captain Ptolemaeus Price, 58, bald and bespectacled, is writing in a ledger on his desk. Rows and rows of days and weeks, laconic remarks in a single column. Patrol, case, vacation, injured.
Bespeckled? Bespectacled, esprit de corps. The word is bespectacled.
In Martinez looking into Krenel, he writes in one. Then the man puts down his pen and rubs his temples with both hands. Outside, there is a siren. Distant gunshots on the streets of the Jamrock Quarter. Vredefort? Vredefort has a military academy. The Semines Islands saw a recent conflict. In Revachol, he was executed.
This man is no brother of mine, but this is his service history.
That makes sense to me. We have no more use for a map of the waterways, just like we don't need sailors the way we used to. This is what the custom would morph into on the Occident. Mercenary tattoos.
A touch grimmer, perhaps?
For all the boys looking for adventure, a blood spatter on the seas.
Quite. Who could tell me more?
His platoon members? The other contractors. Though I do not suggest you go and show them that picture. This man was their friend and comrade.
It could go this or the other way. Maybe if you're tactful, it could be beneficial.
Perhaps.
Surely there are
good at
other
that.
people to ask about the tattoo. This is not necessary to complete the task, officer. It's a dangerous side task. Search elsewhere.
That makes me even more interested in it then. I need the information. Mark it down. Ask Mercs about tattoos.
Do what you have to do, Detective Dubois. I don't think deciphering that tattoo should come before public security. But if you should wade into the mob to find out, I couldn't stop you.
You're goddamn right you couldn't. Scam leader. Perhaps another mercenary can tell you more about the Hanged Man's tattoos. The so-called scab leader at the harbor gates. It won't count as one of the people informing you about the tattoos, but could be interesting. If nothing else, I'll probably get some XP out of it.
We will be careful, man.
Yo. That's all for the tattoos. Thank you for your help.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
Perhaps I could talk to her about the Everard stuff. But... Oh, right. A breakthrough.
Fairweather, T500. Remember that weakness you were looking for in the ceramic armor? Like, maybe it can only stop small, fast projectiles, but a large, slow-moving pry bar would shatter it? Or, if I run an electrical current through it, maybe it will melt. Or, personal favorite, frequency something something radio weapon? None of that would work. You need to shoot the part of the enemy that doesn't have Fairweather T-500 on it, because the armor itself is invulnerable. Good news is, so are the armor pieces on you.
Wow. What a useful thought. Shoot at the parts of the body that aren't armored. Truly, I needed to dedicate an entire... what, 1/9 or so of my thought cabinet just to this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. No, 112. Still. +2 hand-eye coordination against enemies and FT-500 armor. Yeah, like I said, I'm thinking this confrontation might just be inevitable. And, yeah. Maybe I should start putting points into hand-eye coordination. Hey, at least I've got a point in French nonsense back. 98 out of 100, goddammit. Well, I'm thinking maybe I should follow up on talking the stuff on about Everard. It's still grayed out, but that's clearly no obstacle to there being interesting shit behind it. With her. But I'll get to that next time, because this video has already gone more than long enough. This might very well be our last day before shit hits the fan. Fortunately, we are making excellent progress on all the various things that won't prevent shit from hitting the fan. Yeah. Really wish we could just ask Joyce to really wish we could just go and ask Rejoice to carry us to the island so we could investigate that place, but oh well. There's me being practical like that again. But until next time, I have been Joe Bob, and I'm very peeved. And remember, dislike the video, unsubscribe if you're for some reason subscribed, and leave a nasty comment in the comment section down below. Fuck you all so much for watching, and so long, suckers.
You're gonna be okay, kid.